ಕರಾವಳಿಯ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಟ್ರೆಡಿಷನ್ ಇರಬಹುದು, ಸಂಸ್ಕೃತಿ ಎಲ್ಲದರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಒಂದು ಅಧ್ಯಯನ ಮಾಡಿ ಪುಸ್ತಕ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ನಾನದು ಲಂಡನ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ರಿಲೀಸು.
Documentaries when I was a BBC producer. And I sort of started at Karawa and worked down the coast, really, thinking I needed to be nearer to an airport. And I came down by car and looked at all the places on the way. And when I got to Mangalore, I thought this would be a jolly nice place to be. And I was very lucky to find a house at Suratkal on the beach there at Hosametu. And I stayed there for about, I suppose, 7 years, staying mostly in the English winters, which are extremely unpleasant, cold and wet and often snow, and it gets dark very early in the evening. So I come here for the English winter, which is the best, of course, the best time of year here. And eventually I decided living on the sea is really practical, because in the rainy season, the monsoon season, it really gets very unpleasant, and the house gets ruined and everything gets rusty and the computer packs up and all that sort of stuff. And so I thought my dream would be to build a house on the river. And so eventually that's what happened. And this house has been built in this little village, which is what this book is about. And it's just outside Kattapadi on the river, Udyavara River. And it's an old-fashioned house. Everybody scoffed, laughed at me for building an old-fashioned house, because it's wood and tiles, and it's completely waterproof, and it has no insects or animals except mosquitoes, so it's worked very well as a house. So while I've been there, I've been talking to a number of people in the village, either directly or through friends who've helped me with translating. And I just thought it would be nice to make a portrait of this little village in writing. If I was still a BBC producer, I'd send for a cameraman and a sound man and a director probably, but because I don't have those tools, I decided to make a documentary as a book, really. That's what I've done. And it's quite a short book, but then it's quite sort of concentrated. And then somewhere along the line, I saw some pictures in the Hindu newspaper of Dinesh Holler's paintings on the wall. I think it's a university college near Maidan. And I saw these and eventually tracked him down. And we've been friends for a long time since. And I thought it would be really nice to have some illustrations in this book, which Dinesh has done for me, and they're really smashing drawings. He might sell you the originals at vast sums of money if you're lucky. So there's nothing much to say about the village. The village itself is only half a village. It's called Manipura West, the village. And it's half the village, the bit that's round the river, which I've written about. And the people I've spoken to are just the local people and visitors who come, visitors are nearly all relatives. And the theme of the book really is that it's living on a knife edge financially in a village like that, unless you have some outside support in some way. I mean, it is much easier farming now than it was when I arrived only a few years ago, in that now there are mechanical ploughs and mechanical harvesting machines, which have made a tremendous difference, which are shared. The cost of them is shared by the village. That's made a material difference, but nearly every village has a relation, every house has a relation who's gone to the Gulf, or occasionally to the UK, but nearly always to the Gulf, because you sort of need that extra money for weddings and funerals and high days and holidays. You can survive in the village, and there are a number of people who come back and retire there, which is rather nice. Settle back down, having been in Bombay or wherever for years. And it's a very nice, friendly community where everybody helps each other, and if somebody needs some milk, they borrow off somebody, and if they need one of these tool things, a mattock, they'll borrow it and then hand it back. But the village is changing very fast. I mean, when I arrived, I think there was only one private car in the village. And there were 2 vehicles for moving coconuts, because coconuts is a very big business. And now there must be 10 cars, I think, in the village, so it's not much compared with America or the Gulf, but it's still pretty startling in the village. And there is a concrete road now, which there wasn't then, so it does make it a little bit easier. So I'd like to answer any questions anybody has, because although it's a very slim book, there's quite a lot to talk about if anybody would like to ask any questions.
What year did you visit this place? What year did you visit the house?
Sorry?
Which year was it?
Well,
the picture when you were